Hi, the answer is a towel. A towel. The more I dry, the wetter I get. A towel. You're probably wondering what this is. Well, it's a learning thing that you do not play football in the driveway with flip-flops. Put shoes on and play on the grass. If you stay with me and on the video until the end of the video, I will tell you the best place to catch the biggest fish in Lake Powell. Now, introduction, I'm Bob Hill, Jokes by Bob Hill. Invite you to subscribe and hit the like button if you like them, like what you hear, my jokes. Share them with others. If you want to ring the bell, you'll have notification when a new video is published. And my jokes are public domain as far as I know. If there's something that isn't, please tell me so I can correct that or remove it. Okay, now to get on with the jokes. We'll start with, there was this drunk. He walked into McDonald's and he sat down. And he had lipstick all over his face. And he smelt like liquor, and he had a wine bottle in his pocket, and he sat across from the priest, and the priest didn't appreciate it. And the priest sat there thinking of what to say him to try to get him to be better. So they sat there about 5 minutes. The drunk's reading his newspaper, and he looks up at the priest and he says, "What causes arthritis?" Oh, that gave the priest a doorway. Oh, he says, it's doing things with bad women, it's drinking, getting drunk, it's not treating people right. He just read him a sermon. And the drunk says, okay, and went on reading the newspaper. Well, the priest got thinking, now that wasn't very nice of me. I'll see if I can help. Sir, and he stops reading his newspaper and he says, I apologize, I was a little short with you. How long have you had arthritis? He says, oh, I don't have arthritis. It says the Pope has arthritis. This priest was walking up, this younger priest. He's missing his bike. Here comes the older priest, more experienced, wise, and he says, oh, you're not riding your bike today? He says, no, I think somebody in my parish took my bike. And so he was all disappointed. Oh, well, the older priest says, well, you know what? If somebody in your parish took your bike, I'll tell you what to do. You prepare a really well-written sermon about the 10 Commandments, but you really emphasize, thou shalt not steal. And you give that Sunday in church and see what happens. So the next week rolls around and he's riding on his bike, and the old priest says, hey, it looks like it went okay. And the younger priest says, yes, it did. When came to thou shalt not commit adultery, I remembered where I put my bike. This little kid, his mother asked him, now you go to the store and get some turpentine. It'll give it to you, and you be very careful with it because it's some real powerful liquid, and I don't want you or anybody to get hurt. Now you be responsible, and you come right back home with that for me. She goes, okay, Mom, I will. So here comes the little kid back from the store, holding the turpentine very carefully. And here comes the priest coming the other way with the holy water, acting very dignified. And he says, yes, hey, son, what you got in the bottle? Oh, I have some very powerful liquid from my mother, and she put me responsible for it, so I can't stop and do anything. Oh, well, the priest says, I have some powerful liquid here too. It is probably the most powerful liquid in the world. And the little boy says, well, this is really powerful, and it's important for my mom to get it. And the priest says, well, this holy water is so powerful, if I put it on a pregnant lady's belly, she will pass a baby boy. And so the gears start turning in the little boy's head. And he sees a motorcycle go by. And he sees a cat. And he says, well, if I put this liquid on that cat's tail, it will pass that motorcycle. This guy had erectile dysfunction, and he talked to his wife, and his wife kept telling him, go to the doctor, stop complaining and go to the doctor. So finally he goes to the doctor, and the doctor gives him a full exam, and he says, nothing's wrong, but we'll give you a few things to try. So he gave him a few things to try. A month later he comes back and he says, doctor, none of this stuff works. And the doctor examined these again and said, well, it could be psychological. Here is the address of an excellent psychiatrist. You go see him and maybe he can work you through your problems. So he goes to the psychiatrist and tells him his problems. The psychiatrist writes everything down and says, yeah, I think we can help you because the doctor said nothing's wrong with you. We'll see if it's psychological. So after about 3 sessions, a month later, he comes in and he says, doctor, nothing's working. So the psychiatrist says, well, we tried. I guess you can look for other things. And so that night he's reading the newspaper and he reads about a witch doctor. And he says, well, I've tried the doctor and I've tried the psychiatrist. I'll try a witch doctor. So he goes and he talks to the witch doctor, and the witch doctor says, you come back this evening and we'll sit around the fire and we will remedy your situation. And so he comes back and sits around the fire, and this witch doctor throws a bunch of different powders in the fire, and red and green and blue flames come up. And he says, now never say 1, 2, 3, 4, or it will undo what we are doing tonight. You want to enjoy intimacy with your wife? You count 1, 2, 3. And then the magic will start happening. So that evening they're sitting there, lying there in bed, and he's kind of getting a little frisky with his wife and says, hey, I'm ready to try again. And she says, okay. And he says, 1, 2, 3. And she's thinking, and the magic starts happening, and he's feeling good. And she asks, what did you go 1, 2, 3 for? This guy, this couple, they've been married for about 35 years. And every morning this guy gets up and passes the worst gas with the biggest noise. And his wife, it's just so bad, and she tries to filter the stench. And so she just, one day she's just fed up with him, and she says, one of the days you're going to fart out your guts. And he says, oh, it's a natural thing. It's just a natural thing of the body. Well, continues going. Thanksgiving, she's down getting the turkey ready, and she has these turkey guts. And so she gets a little idea, and she says, I'm going to play a trick on him. So she takes those turkey guts up, and she very quietly goes in and uncovers him and puts those turkey guts in his shorts and covers him back and gets out the door, and then she can't stop giggling and laughing. Oh, she's got him for sure. And so she gets down in the kitchen and starts laughing. And then 10 minutes later, she hears him get up with the biggest noise, his passing gas, and she chuckles and smiles. And then she said, ah! she hears a yell. she starts laughing, goes in and sits on the couch and can't control her laughing. And then about 15 minutes later, he comes down from the bathroom and out of the bathroom, and he says, "You know, you're right." She can barely keep a straight face, and she says, "I'm right?" "Yes." He says, "Yes, I farted out my guts, and if it wasn't for these two fingers in a lot of pain, or I put them all back with these two fingers in a lot of pain." Okay, I promised you that at the end of the video I would tell you the best place to catch the biggest fish in Lake Powell. Well, right there in the lip. You have a great day and enjoy the jokes.